Okay, so what is your name?
My name is Glenn Cross.
Where are you from?
I am from Huntington Woods, Michigan.
How old were you on September 11th, 2001?
I was, that's 14, I was 33.
Where were you on September 11th, 2001 when we were attacked?
I was just getting into work that morning, and I walked into work and everybody was gone. And I'm like, where is everyone? And everyone was kind of in the break room where we had one TV, and everyone was kind of huddled around the TV saying that they didn't know what, but something had flown into one of the World Trade Centers.
Okay. Did you ever visit the World Trade Center in NYC before September 2001? What do you remember?
Yeah, so I've been there a lot because with work I travel a lot, and a lot of times we do events. So we've actually done events in there because there was a hotel and there was a restaurant at the top. So I've been there multiple times. I was always amazed on like how tall it was, how big, and you'd look up and it just would seem to go forever. And then also too, it was always kind of the shot that everybody showed besides the Brooklyn Bridge of New York as well. So I just remember how big it was and how massive it was, just kind of located at the end of Manhattan.
How did you find out about the attacks? What were you doing at the time? School, work, be specific.
Yep. I was coming into work, like I said, and then I walked in the break room, and they said, oh, something flew in there, and they thought it was a plane, and I was thinking, oh, it's going to be just like one of those small little commuter jets, someone made a mistake, maybe it was cloudy, they just ran into a big building, which happens all the time. And while we were watching that and trying to figure it out, just kind of there, and all of a sudden we see another explosion, because they were kind of focused right on, just where the smoke was coming out of the bridge. When I was seeing this other explosion, and the reporter started to say that it was a jet, an airline jet that had flown in as well. And at that point, there was kind of a gasp, and everybody got really quiet and realized that there's something serious going on versus just an accident.
Yeah. What were your first feelings or emotions when you heard about the attacks?
Well, we were confused because we didn't know. First of all, we just thought it was an accident. Then we said, oh my gosh. And then where it really hit home to where I thought it was a terrorist attack is then like 20 minutes later. By that time now, we pulled like every TV, and this is 2001, so there wasn't like TVs all over the workplace like there are now, but people had pulled out TVs. And I remember walking by, because you kind of went back to work and said, oh my gosh, what's going on? And then I remember when the Pentagon got hit, it really kind of woke me up and said, we're under attack versus accidents. We never really thought it was terrorists because we didn't really, we've had terrorism. They tried to blow up the World Trade Center before, but it hadn't happened on our soil. So for me, it didn't register that it was a terrorist attack until the Pentagon was hit, and then we knew something was really, really bad.
Yeah. Were you afraid for your safety or the safety of your family? What actions did you take?
Yeah, no, that's a good point. So after that happened, I called Mom, because Mom was at school, because we didn't know if we should go pick up your sisters, we'd pick up your other sister at daycare, whatnot. Our first reaction was to go get the kids and come home, but then, they were locking down schools and they really couldn't do anything. So we kind of wrote it out on there. So yeah, my first thought was with my family and called Mom to see what we should do, because I always defer to Mom for the right decisions.
What do you think of the government's reactions to the attack?
I think they were absolutely justified. I think George Bush, even though he gets a bad rap, was fantastic the days after the event, going to the World Trade Center, climbing up on there, saying that the world would hear you. I thought he showed real leadership and true presidential leadership in those times, and I think he doesn't get enough credit for that as well. In terms of going and finding the attackers, I think we could have moved faster. Unfortunately, I think the Clinton administration could have had Osama bin Laden before and decided not to, which could have prevented all of this as well. So I think we used the right amount of force to go in and find bin Laden. And if you fast forward then 10 or 15 years, not that it hasn't been long in the war and all of that, we've crippled Al-Qaeda. They're not as powerful as they used to be. They can't necessarily reach us right now as much as we know as well. So I think in hindsight, what he did and how fast he acted, they're justified, because the group that attacked the World Trade Centers is no longer stronger, and his leader that was accountable for that has been killed and captured by the United States, which I think is a great thing.